Green beans. These green beans are Blue Lake green beans. I've been out here cropping these out. We've got them a little bit too thick, as I've discussed in other videos. The best thing you want to do as far as planting these is a 1-foot grid. It's about as tight as you want to get with these bush beans. These are planted tighter. We use the earthway seeder to make rows, so it plants them a lot more dense than 6 inches. 6 inches, excuse me. 1 foot. It's probably more like every, I guess you can see there, judge that, probably 3 or 4 inches. So it's not ideal for this situation. It's okay if you're growing them in straight up rows with 3 feet on each side to run your tiller through, but doing it like this, I would imagine that with how many beans we have here, that it would probably cover most of this garden down here if we did it in single rows with 3-foot spacing. Roundabout, not exactly. I'm not going to run that much math on you, but so this is kind of how we do it. I'll show you here how you can see the difference why it's too dense. Let's go over here. I found one that was pretty dense. It was over here on the edge. Oh, here it is right here. So you can see all the beans on it. Really dense coverage on the out there. Then I'll pull some here in the center. You can see there's not really much happening there. A bean there. Looks like something came in here and ate a little bit of one too. Go ahead and pull another just to kind of show you an example. Don't really get a whole lot of beans on them when you put them way too close. Again, the rows are planted way too dense, and this is not even a foot apart here. I mean, let me go from the base. Yeah, I'd say it's about 10 inches. So we put them in here way too dense. On the outsides, they do fine. But on the inside, it's just, it can't get enough light. They compete too much for the sunlight. One other thing with that is that I am happy that they are too dense, because there's so many beans out here. I don't want to take the time to deal with all of them. So we might be able to have some of these for sale in the coming week, depending how quickly we can get down here and do more harvesting. Right now we're doing canning. So like I do, I just keep on piling them up, then I'll throw them in the trailer, get a load, then I'll take them up to the garage to get in the shade. Once again, one thing I want to say is that we do not do a first, second, and third picking. We just let them grow and pull them up. And you'll see why here in a minute, as opposed to trying to get through all these. And also as far as bending over for that long. All right, let's go up to the garage. I'll show you a little bit more. One more thing to add while we're down here. Just want to show you the progress. Pulled up quite a bit there. Yeah, it took about 5-10 minutes, not too long. A couple more things I want to say is I am wearing gloves for this. There are some weeds in here that fight back. I don't know the name of them. There's one right there. You can see it. They have the thorns. I'm keeping an eye out for those, trying not to get poked. So I'm wearing the gloves just to make sure nothing happens with that. Those particular weeds just love growing in the wood chips. They don't grow in here thick, but they just pop up all over the place. We're always pulling them out, but it's not too big of a deal. And the other thing I wanted to mention here, that is when you're cropping out like this, it's the best time to go through and get all your weeds and whatnot pulled out. From where they've been fighting for the sun, they don't have much of a root mass. Usually what happens is the weeds try and shoot up through the beans or whatever plants you have, and they can't really establish roots because they're trying so hard to get up to get sun. But look at that, just came right out. So easy to do it right now when you're doing all that. All right, now let's go up to the garage. I'll show you some more. So here we are in the garage. We've already brought the stuff up here. We have a little trailer we pull behind our 4-wheeler. This is how we transport stuff around here. You can use your pickup truck. You could use a car with some of these totes to put the plants in. They fit in there pretty well. If you needed to do something like that, just use whatever you have. But what we used to do is we used to pile them up on this table, or the back of your pickup truck, whatever you want to do. Find a nice shade tree, however you want to do it. It's just really hard to see the beans in here. So if you have them piled up, it just gets really tough. Really tough to see. Mother Nature's camouflage. Another good example of that is right here. So let's go back over here. And as you can see, the beans really stick out on the contrast of the table. So I've been doing that, and it's been working out really well. Then, as soon as I pick them, they just go right down into the tote there. That's how we go about it. And with that, I clean the table off periodically as well, because a bunch of debris will be on here, and it makes it hard to see through to the green beans. So I sweep that off periodically as well. And then as far as what we have in the floor over here, there's gonna be a whole lot of fodder and whatnot left over at the very end. So what I do is I take a snow shovel and use it as a great big dustpan. Works out great. As far as what we're doing, these are the totes that go up to the chickens. So after I'm done, I'm gonna take this, gonna be filled up with the leftovers from these plants. And we'll take them to the chickens so that way they can have some tasty eggs as well. Well guys, just kind of wanted to show you a little bit of how we do this, the way the process has evolved. The one thing I would probably do differently, I got another table here with a bunch of stuff on it. I don't feel like moving it, so I've just been picking the green beans up out of the floor and bringing them up on a table. It would probably be easier to set them on a table. But anyway guys, this is how we do it. I don't know about you all on this Sunday afternoon, but I'm starting to get a little bit hot, so I'm going to shut this door and turn on the air conditioning. And then I have a bunch of snapping to do after that as well. All right, see y'all later.